Okay, we're going to look at the type tool in Maya. There's a few different ways to get there. You could be in the Mash menu on the shelf, and that little T there. You can go Poly menu and that T, or you can just do Create Type. All right, so we'll take it from the top. So we can select different typefaces. Sans regular. We can change whatever's written in there in here. Okay. In the text, we can change the size, change the tracking, get in a little, change the leading. Let's see, you can also dial in the kerning of individual letters with the type modifier, or manipulator, I guess it's called. All right, this is, you can animate the letters changing, you can have it driven by code, we're not doing anything of that. The geometry, the curve resolution is how fine the profile is. These two are used if you're having issues, if something's like filling in or there's kind of an error. You can kind of turn these on to turn off stray points. You can turn the text into curves if you wanted to, use them to drive animation or model in a different way. If we're going to deform them, you can turn deformable text on, and you can see what happens is the front face goes from like one huge n-gon. An n-gon is a polygon that has more than 4 sides, and it kind of subdivides it so that it is deformable. If we really needed to animate it, we'd have to go further than just this thing, but I guess it could work in a pinch. Next we have extrusion, so it could be flat or extruded. Let's turn this up so we can really see what's happening. Let's add some more subdivisions, which will give it more detail. And we can define what happens in the extrusion in this little graph here, and we can snap to grid, and the little points will snap here. And we can't actually see anything until we turn this extrude offset on. All right, but it's pretty wicked, I have to say. That's actually already kind of a cool look. And there's some presets that are kind of interesting. This kind of echo effect here. Yeah, let's see. Some of them are turning black. So let's see. If we add more divisions, that doesn't really fix it. So what we could do is go from normals to distance field. And I think that tries to fix stuff. Oh, I guess the offset's just too high. It's flipping in on itself. All right, so we're just too aggressive. But anyway, this is supposed to fix geometry errors, this distance field thing. Let's go back. Reset that. All right, we also have Bevel. That adds a bevel around the letter forms. Once again, we have tons of control over the profile of that bevel. We'll make it bigger so we can kind of see what's happening here. All right, 1 and 1. And yeah, and we have these, we can, dial this in to be whatever we want it to be. We can also use one of these presets. It's kind of fun. Oh yes, and So this preset, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, but we can't see anything, and because there's not enough resolution. All right. So let's see, what else is there? There's texturing. So by default, it connects a blend shader, but if we go over here, we can change this to our standard surface, which we like. All right. And then we can animate. You can offset the time. You can animate it by character, by word, by line. You can add offsets and delays. And what's really cool is you can plug it into Mesh, which is, we'll talk about Mesh more later, but it's basically like a MoGraph kind of toolkit for Maya, or like a Houdini type thing, but much, much, much easier than Houdini, and not as powerful for sure, but you can still do amazing stuff with Mesh. So maybe we'll look at that at the next video. But for now, let's just get this. Let's just do a nice little render here. To geometry. Push it to the wall a little. Up a little more. Sometimes with type, it's nice to try a camera with no distortion, like treat it really graphic. So, we know that as we increase the focal length, it kind of flattens the image and removes the distortion. But if we want to take that to an extreme, what we can do is use an orthographic camera. So I'm going to grab one of these orthographic cameras, duplicate it, call this Ortho Cam. Look through our Ortho Cam and kind of spin it around like so. And if Maya is not letting you tumble in the Ortho Cam, you go to View, Camera Settings, Camera Tool, Tumble Tool Options, and unlock the Ortho Cam. All right, yeah, let's just do a quick render. And that's a good start for now.